4 parlor women join together as they face a band of thieves while hiding from the law. In the small city of Echo lies a brothel where Anita pleases a renowned colonel. However, he seems too harsh and doesn't take no for an answer. Outside, a group of religious people rallies outside the brothel, claiming that it's poisoning their town's morale. Meanwhile, Anita runs out of the room, not wanting to serve the colonel anymore. However, he slaps her when she refuses, leading Anita to call her friend Cody for help. As the situation intensifies, a lone traveler sits and observes them. Just then, Cody warns the colonel to stop, but he only shoots the glass before her as a threat. Before it turns into a heated gunfight, Cody shoots the colonel in the chest, killing him. Everyone gets shocked, especially the religious people. Because of this, they tie Cody up and demand she pays for the life she took. As they recite their prayers before they hang her dead, Anita and Cody's other friends, Eileen and Lily, pack up their things in a wagon. At the execution site, Cody discreetly unties herself. Just then, Eileen, Lily, and Anita rush into the area on horseback, scaring the people and allowing Cody to escape with them. As they make their way out of the town, the cowboys cheer for them. Later, the ladies stop by a grave where Anita's late husband is buried. Before they leave for good, Anita expresses her sorrow over his death and promises to have him in her heart forever. Just then, Cody alerts Anita that they must leave before the authorities catch up. Elsewhere, 2 Pinkerton detectives are hired by Miss Matilda Claiborne, the widowed wife of the colonel that Cody shot. She tells the gents that she wants Cody killed or brought back to her. Then she hands them portraits of the women and a bag of money. This entices the detectives, and they reassure Matilda that they'll track the fugitives down. As the women continue their travel the following day, the wagon's wheel breaks loose. They pop it back on, but a snake scares the horses, causing them to run rogue. With no one on the wagon, Lily quickly chases after the horses and jumps into the vehicle, gaining complete control of everything. Eileen then catches up to her, giving her a smile of amazement. Meanwhile, Cody shoots the snake and cooks it for dinner later that night. As they gather around the fire, Anita starts talking about their plans now that they're living a new life. She then brings out a homesteader's claim in Oregon that she bought with her late husband, where they once planned to build a sawmill. She reckons that she and her friends can make this come true and run a business together. However, Cody reminds them that they'll need money to build the sawmill, discouraging Anita. Just then, Cody says that they're lucky that she has some savings. She adds that the sawmill sounds like a great idea, and this hypes everybody up. The following day, the detectives discover the wagon's print on the ground, boosting their confidence in finding their targets. Meanwhile, the women are bathing in the river when Cody notices that someone is observing them. She immediately grabs her gun and confronts the stranger, who turns out to be the lone traveler from the brothel. He introduces himself as Joshua McCoy, a prospector who's traveling up north. He then hands Cody a bounty poster with her portrait, though he clarifies that he's not interested in the reward. Before he leaves, he warns Cody that some Pinkerton detectives are tailing them. With this, Cody tells the women to leave the wagon because they need to be at Agua Dulce by the next day, which is where she left her savings. The following day, the group arrives at Agua Dulce. Cody then heads to a dress shop, where she threatens the clerk to give her a fancy dress. Elsewhere, Anita goes to the local church. Meanwhile, Eileen also dresses fancy, wanting to seduce a random man into buying her a decent meal. However, Lily cringes at the sight of this and makes a nasty remark that drives one of Eileen's victims away. Lily can only laugh at the situation, and Eileen also ends up laughing. Just then, Cody walks out of the dress shop, already sporting a dashing outfit. Eileen and Lily then give out a catcalling whistle as she passes by. After this, Cody heads to the bank, where the manager gets dazed by her beauty. She introduces herself as Annalise Zamora and claims to have set up a bank account 6 years ago, to which she has been wiring deposits. As Cody goes through the transaction, Eileen and Lily overhear the Pinkerton detectives by the station asking the sheriff if they've seen Cody and her group. Eileen immediately heads to the church to alert Anita, while Lily heads over to Cody. Lily busts into the manager's room, but Cody screams at her to leave as she hasn't withdrawn the money yet. Lily then heads outside to check on the others, but she almost crosses paths with the detectives. When she returns to Cody, the detectives follow suit and arrest the women. As the detectives bring them outside, Lily and Cody try to escape, but they're overpowered. Just then, Kid Jarrett and his band of outlaws infiltrate the bank and stage a robbery. Kid is Cody's former lover, so he helps her out by telling the manager to hand her money. Before leaving, he gives Cody a passionate kiss. Then he makes his escape. Cody and Lily follow, and they meet with Anita and Eileen. As the outlaws get into a gunfight with the authorities, Cody and the others get on their horses. Just then, Kid goes over to Cody Cody and takes her money, telling her that she knows where to find him. She and the others immediately chase after him, unaware that Eileen failed to escape with them. By the time Cody looks back, the authorities have already gotten a hold of Eileen, leaving her with no choice but to leave. The sheriff then calls William Tucker, the cattle rancher who happens to be a bystander. The sheriff deputizes him, giving him the responsibility of locking Eileen up. Later, Eileen tries to charm her way into freedom, but as much as William wants to help her, he just can't. Elsewhere, the sheriff forms a posse and goes after Kid and the outlaws. However, when they find that they've already crossed the river, they resort to letting them go. Unbeknownst to them, McCoy has joined the posse and continues pursuing the outlaws by himself. That night, Cody gets into an argument with Lily. Lily wants to rescue Eileen immediately, but Cody wants to prioritize retrieving the money that Kid stole, so she tells the others to stay put until she gets back. Meanwhile, Eileen converses with William, and the two get acquainted. However, it's obvious that William is a little shy and nervous around her. In their time together, he mentions that he owns a nearby ranch called Circle Bar Tea. The following day, Cody meets up with Frank Jarrett, Kid's father. She used to ride with them before, and seeing her after a long time, Frank can't help but give her a warm hug. The two then catch up, but shortly after, Kid arrives. Cody goes with him, and on their way to his room, she discovers that he plans to rob a train containing military weapons. In his room, Cody clarifies that she only came for the money. Kid gives her what she came for, but then he starts criticizing her attempt to start a new life. This leads Cody to say that he's only bitter because she left him. She then tries walking away, but Kid lassos her around the neck. Meanwhile, Lily decides to rescue Eileen, insisting that Cody won't come back for them. That night, McCoy continues his search when he passes by Cody slumped on her horse with injuries on her back. He brings her back to Agua Dulce, where the Pinkerton detectives are. The detectives happen to see McCoy carrying Cody, so they follow him despite being drunk. Meanwhile, McCoy takes Cody to a doctor and has her wounds treated. When he notices the detectives approaching, he fools them into thinking that Cody is by the river and she also happens to be with Kid Jarrett. The drunk detectives then head there, happy to capture two outlaws in one night. After this, McCoy offers comfort to Cody throughout the painful treatment. At the station, Lily dresses provocatively to distract the deputy while Anita busts the cell open. However, Anita's attempt fails, and this alerts the deputy. With no choice, she knocks him out. Meanwhile, Eileen convinces William of her innocence, and he ends up setting her free. However, before she leaves, she locks him inside the cell to make it look like they threatened him. As the three escape, they spot Cody's horse by the doctor's hut. With this, Anita looks for her while Eileen and Lily head to William's ranch. Meanwhile, McCoy reveals to Cody that nothing has been a coincidence, and he tracked her down from the start. Knowing that she was associated with the Jarretts, he followed her around to find Frank, who killed McCoy's father and took his claim. He adds that his mother lived on for a couple of years but was forced to be a harlot like Cody. When she died, he vowed to kill Frank Jarrett no matter what. Anita, who's heard the entire conversation, walks into the hut in disbelief. Cody tells her that she didn't get the money. Then she silently cries in Anita's arms. The following day, William goes home to his ranch, only to find that Eileen, along with all the ladies and McCoy, has already made themselves comfortable in his house. Eileen tries to compensate for crashing in his home, but William momentarily goes outside to lash out in anger. After this, he welcomes everyone to his home, explaining that he's been living alone since his family died, and it's the first time that he has company. However, he says this as if he's trying hard not to sound harsh. That night, McCoy tells Cody that he'll be on his way, but she tells him not to go. McCoy then smiles and sits by her bedside. Then they hold hands. Meanwhile, William and Eileen dance in the kitchen while Lily and Anita gush by the windowsill, looking at them. The following day, Kid executes his robbery on the train, and he does this despite Frank's criticism. As his men load up their loot, Cody and the others spy on them from the mountains. After Kid wraps things up, Cody and the team ambush them in their path with dynamites and guns. Some men abandon Kid while he stays and battles it out with Cody. Meanwhile, William gets shot in the arm while trying to protect Eileen, but McCoy avenges him by tossing a dynamite at the man. The man then flees, leaving Kid to fend for himself. While Kid is occupied, Anita takes the wagon that's carrying the military weapons. As she escapes, Frank arrives at the scene and immediately mocks his son for being outwitted by a bunch of women. Just then, McCoy sees Frank and shoots him in the arm. Meanwhile, Lily attempts to regroup with the others, but Kid spots her and abducts her. On the other hand, McCoy is about to kill Frank, but Cody tells him that Lily's been abducted, and they have have to use the man for a trade. After this, the group returns to the ranch to reassess their plans. They plan on trading Frank for Lily, then give Kid the Gatling gun in exchange for money. However, Anita starts pointing fingers at who's responsible for Lily's abduction, and she claims that it all happened because they wanted revenge on Kid. This triggers Cody, so she reminds Anita that it's her choice to be there. Anita ends up walking out, and she heads to the house to drink some water. There, Frank asks for a bit of water, but when she gives him some, he starts talking about their plans to settle in Oregon. He says that it's impossible because she's a widowed woman. Enraged for being reduced to a mere widow, she goes to the nearest town to consult with a lawyer. Meanwhile, Kid and his men talk to Lily and discover that she's the daughter of a famous trick rider. They then mock her and ask why she became a parlor girl, so she replies that her father died and left her with debts. Kid then disses her late father, which drives Lily to try and attack him. The men hold her back, seemingly entertained by her feisty attitude. Kid then hints that it'll be fun to humble her. Elsewhere, Anita discovers that her claim is worthless because her husband is dead. Angry that her worth depends on a man, she gets up to leave. However, the lawyer still asks for his fee, so she tosses some coins at him and goes on her way. At the ranch, McCoy tries giving Frank some food, but he throws it on the ground. He then guilt trips Cody, pointing out how he took her in, which causes her to walk out of the scene. McCoy offers her some comfort, and the two end up embracing. Later that day, Frank antagonizes McCoy, and he brings up his late mother's name. Just then, Cody hears a gunshot, so she immediately runs to McCoy. When she gets there, he says that he shot Frank because he tried to escape. Cody knows he killed him, so McCoy justifies that Frank deserved it. Disappointed with his rash decisions, Cody points her gun at him and tells him to leave. With this, McCoy gets on his horse and rides off. Later on, Anita returns to the ranch and informs the others that her claim is no good. With no future prospects in mind, Anita finds no reason to hold herself back, so she rejoins Cody's cause. Meanwhile, Kid and his men take turns disrespecting Lily. That night, as she helplessly gets tied to the bed, she suddenly hears explosions outside the room. Just then, McCoy appears, and Lily smiles in relief. Later that night, Lily escapes and encounters the others. She says that McCoy saved her, but he disappeared as they fled, so he must have been caught by Kid and his men. The following day, the ladies head to Frank's place, which is in utter shambles. They also bring the Gatling gun with them in exchange for McCoy's freedom. There, Kid agrees with Cody's terms, and he quickly tells his men to bring out McCoy, who's severely beaten up. They then take the gun and free McCoy. However, as he struggles to walk towards Cody, Kid shoots him dead. Cody immediately runs to McCoy, but it's too late. Kid then throws them some cash, saying that they'll get what they initially came for. Knowing that Cody is completely vulnerable, Anita initiates taking the money and leaving. As they slowly back away, Ned, one of Kid's men who didn't get to bed Lily, mocks her and says that she must return for him. As he makes more disgusting remarks, Lily shoots him, which turns into a full-blown gunfight. The ladies then split up, and as the chaos goes on, Eileen manages to kill one of them, while Lily shoots the man handling the Gatling gun. Cody then controls the device, wanting to kill Kid. However, he hides inside the house, so she goes after him. When she finds Kid, he laughs and says that he's out of ammo. With this, Cody tosses him a single bullet, telling him to load it in and die like a man. Kid laughs as he loads the bullet, and just as he's about to shoot her, he calls Cody a dumb woman. However, Cody shoots him before he can, and he dies on the spot. After this, Cody goes to the others. Then she takes one last look at McCoy. However, Ned appears out of nowhere to shoot her, but Anita kills him first. The gunshot alerts Eileen and Lily, who have taken Kid's money. Later on, they bury McCoy, then return to the ranch. As the others prepare their things to leave, Eileen talks with William, who's asking her to stay with him. Eileen then reveals the truth about her life, but how William sees her hasn't changed. The two then kiss, and Eileen tells her friends that she's staying. Cody gives Eileen her share of the loot, then informs her that she's heading to Klondike with the rest to work on a certain gold mine. Meanwhile, Lily refuses to bid Eileen goodbye, but she can't help it. As the three ride off to Klondike that afternoon, they overtake the Pinkerton detectives, who are unaware that they have just passed by.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.